Welcome back to the show. We've been doing sort of a series with our friends from Friends for Life about an important program that they're going to be having. It's going to be a number of different events all the way through the fall. They've got a kickoff coming up in August, on August the 7th. And the whole thing is called Prevention to Prosecution, the Many Faces of Abuse. And the whole point is to help educate folks about the ways people are taken advantage of, made victims, and what we can do to spot it, what we can do to help, who do we go to for help. So I'm so happy to have Christine Schroeder-Moran again with us. And of course, this is sort of your project
Yes, ma'am.
as the Lifelines programmer there at Friends for Life. The wonderful Inez Russell, who knows I will crawl over broken glass for. Inez Russell, who founded Friends for Life 36 years ago. And our wonderful Erica Mendoza, who is with the Adult Protective Services.
Yes, ma'am.
So it all kind of makes sense, right? It all fits in. So, Christine, these two ladies are going to be doing two different events, right,
Yes.
coming up in the fall.
Yes, two different classes. They run from August 7th, will be the panel discussion with all of the presenters to kind of give people a better idea of what some of the questions are they might want to ask during those different programs, or which ones are going to be more beneficial for them, or to share information with other people. And then we will have a different class approximately every 2 weeks up until the week before Thanksgiving.
And this all happens at Hog offices. Again, tell everybody
Yes.
where that is.
That is 1514 South New Road. So in the Hot Cog building, and we'll be partnering with Area Agency on Aging, and they're going to let us use a conference room.
Well, this is great. I mean, it's so needed. This is the second year you've done this, so
yes.
hence the number two, prevention two, prosecution. I love it. You're always thinking. But Inez, so many years ago, I mean, you saw a need. You saw a little lady who was elderly in a hospital thinking she was dying. She needed some help. And then Friends for Life happens.
It did.
Well, so tell me how this program fits in with your mission there at Friends for Life to see to the needs of the elderly and those with special needs.
Well, for all of the years of Friends for Life, we've been dealing with seniors and people with disabilities who've been taken advantage of. So it's really important to us that we can teach people how to not be taken advantage of. It's a lot easier to prevent than it is to fix after they've already given all their money away. So this was an important project for us to take on to try to minimize the number of people. Too many people are being taken advantage of. So.
Well, and Erica, what you do through Adult Protective Services, I mean, you investigate all these cases, right?
Correct. We investigate abuse, neglect, and financial exploitation of individuals who are 65 and older or 18 to 64 with a substantial disability.
So what are the numbers? I mean, how extensive is the problem?
This is something that is growing every single year. Here in McLennan County, in 2024, we saw an increase to about 1,300 cases. And that's in our backyards. That's our neighbors. That's our family members. That's our church members. That's anybody.
Yeah, well, there's been a story in the news lately about Mrs. Sharp, and this was an issue that had gone on for years and years, apparently. What does it mean to you, though, Inez, when you hear about a problem and want to see something done? I mean, what's the first thing somebody needs to do?
Well, I think report it is the first thing, to contact Adult Protective Services and let them know. And we're actually legally required to do that, so we need to bring them into the picture and get them to help. While you guys were talking, I was thinking about most of the people in our guardianship program come to us as victims of abuse, neglect, or exploitation, sometimes self-neglect. And almost everyone who comes into our money management program has been exploited. So, this is a huge problem for our seniors. Our most vulnerable people are so susceptible. There are fraud issues that everybody's dealing with. My staff come to me and say, "Did you text me that you need me to go get gift cards?"
no.
I say, "No, I would
Really?
never do that." So if our staff can be concerned about that, then certainly our vulnerable people who don't have as much exposure to the trainings that we have can be taken advantage of so easily. I mean, we've had people who gave everything they had to somebody that called them on the phone and promised things to them. And they teach classes.
Yeah.
In businesses, they teach how to take advantage of seniors. That just boggles my mind.
Wait a minute. Back up. Where are they teaching this?
They've actually done some documentaries on it, Anne, where they've shown that they teach them how to do it. And people are befriending seniors.
Well, because they're
over years,
often
they sometimes
they're lonely.
do.
They're just looking for someone to befriend them, and then they grow to trust them.
They
and,
do.
You know, they would ever do anything harmful to me, would
I
they?
know. And we have clients who say, "I don't want to prosecute them.
Oh.
They might come back and do what they said they were going to do. They've just become a friend to this lonely senior who's suddenly horribly taken advantage of." I mean, they can give them every single thing. And they start off, these people will research and find out, where did they go to church? Where did they go to school? They learn all these things about them. So then they call and they pretend they have common interests. "Oh, you went to Waco High School. I did too." And who was your teacher? And they build a friendship. And over a period of time, that person comes to trust them. And then they say, "Oh, goodness, something horrible's happened to me. Would you help me?" And they help a little bit. And then eventually they have nothing. And when they have nothing left, that person's gone. It's horrible.
And I'm wondering, too, if the newly widowed perhaps become real targets. Have you found that to be the case?
Oh,
Erica?
absolutely. It's actually one of the bullet points in one of my presentations that newly widows are more susceptible.
We know what you mean. More likely.
Yes, more likely to be found in that situation of financial exploitation.
Yeah.
Mainly because the women are typically not the ones paying the bills. Maybe they just don't have the financial means to do it anymore. So maybe they have a loved one, a daughter, a grandson, son, helping to pay those bills. And that becomes murky water after a few of those deposits get made and money are getting taken out of those accounts. And so that's financial exploitation. It's definitely a crime that is on the rise.
So your program is going to be in October. I think you're set for October 9th. And it's entitled Beyond the Report.
Yes.
So what report? What are we talking about?
So one of the things you'll learn in that presentation is that everybody over the age of 18 in Texas is actually a mandatory reporter. And that's for both children and the vulnerable adults. What is it to make a report? What does it look like after that report is made? But what should you be looking out for to make a report? Right? And so we go into those details about what are those signs and symptoms of abuse, neglect, and that financial exploitation. What does it look like throughout the case? Sometimes community partners, they get frustrated with APS because maybe we didn't do something. But the caveat to that is, does that individual have capacity? And that is one of those biggest little details that's going to make or break a case.
Yeah.
Well, and with you, Inez, I think your program is coming up on September 11th. It's an easy date to remember, isn't it? But it's on giving. Giving with confidence, and you'll be co-presenting with the Reverend Jason Ingalls of the Church of the Holy Spirit, and you're going to tell us, he wasn't able to be with us today, so you're going to tell us a little bit what he's going to be talking about.
So he's going to be sharing with folks some of the kind of nasty tricks that some of these charitable, so-called charitable organizations and things, and people involved in fundraising, that lexicon, kind of what to be looking for and things like that. Some of the typical things that are seen. He's had quite a bit of experience with fundraising. And so, he's very familiar with some of those different kind of tools that they use to kind of get into people's lives, and again, like Erica and Inez both said, I mean, it's the people that are sometimes very lonely, and we talked about that before. Mm-hmm. That loneliness and isolation plays a huge factor, as well as people that are feeling very emotional. Mm-hmm. And so things like that, like widows, and so they're watching for those kinds of statistics, because they know too that if you're in that kind of an emotional state, right, that you're a more easy victim. So there's just so many facets to it, and that's why we called it the many faces of abuse, because there's so many different angles, and sometimes they'll use more than one.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, I want to learn some more about what you're feeling about how we can help folks and what that possibly could mean, because the numbers, Erica, you're saying are stunning. And quite heartbreaking.
Oh, most definitely.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is the Sonos Arc Ultra, and this is what you need to know about it. It represents one of the easiest ways to get into high quality home cinema without loads of cables and faffing around. And that's because the Arc Ultra provides full Dolby Atmos without any rear speakers, thanks to its sound motion technology. And Sonos is actually calling sound motion one of the most significant breakthroughs in audio engineering in nearly 100 years. It's an amazing setup, it sounds absolutely fantastic. I love the absence of fat. If you're a Sonos person, there's a reason you're watching this video.
Stay with us for music from Lilly Milford, and be sure to subscribe to The Ann Harder Show on YouTube.
Let's unbox the all-new Walking Pad X21. It is the hottest thing on the fitness market right now. Whew. I like it. I like it a lot. Well done, Walking Pad. So after using the Walking Pad, I absolutely loved it. For the price, I adore it. I highly recommend it.
The song's called The Sky. I wrote this about being a child and thinking everything was real big, and then you grow up and it's not. When we were younger, the sky was bigger. When your charms fell, made like they're satin. Those days grow cold as the years lay behind them. Lord, take me back to the day before I lost it all. I struggle with dreams and the ghosts they recall. Remember seeing Marcos when I took the fall, twisted in ways they all leave a scar. Lord, take me back to the day before I lost it all. take me back to the day before I lost it all.
Escape into fitness with the Schwinn IC4 bike, providing a premium, heart-pumping indoor cycling experience that combines digital connectivity with superior Schwinn quality. The IC4's smooth, quiet ride features magnetic resistance with 100 micro-adjustable resistance levels. Escape the everyday with the Schwinn IC4 bike, your ticket to a life well lived.
At Mapiful, we believe in celebrating your journey, past, present, and future. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence, elevate creativity, and honor what matters most. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mapiful.com and start celebrating your story today.
And we're back. We're talking about the prevention to prosecution, the many faces of abuse, kind of roundtable discussion that will be happening on August 7th, correct, at the Hot Cog building. But there's going to be a whole series of wonderful presentations on into November.
Yes.
That people can take advantage of. And these things, Christine, are really designed to educate folks so they can spot when a loved one might be taking advantage of.
True. Well, and hopefully we're going to catch it before somebody is possibly being taken advantage of. You know, so with more education, we can be looking for the different things that scammers and fraudsters are using, as well as our own loved ones, and even ourselves sometimes, who hasn't gotten those, you know, different text messages and calls and things like that.
Oh, it can be so realistic.
Very.
That's what's scary about it.
Mm-hmm. And they're getting better and better, and they're so creative.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's so hard to stay on top of that. So whether it's for yourself or a friend, a church member, like Erica said, a loved one, you know, we need to be extra aware and extra tuned in to their circumstances and their mindset and their emotions and all those things as well to help keep them safe before you know, something actually becomes critical or questionable, and then at that point, what do we do about it now? Mm-hmm. How do we stop this? And then, unfortunately, if there has been something significant, is it even prosecutable?
So, Erica, that's really kind of where Adult Protective Services does come in, though, in investigating these cases and then taking it on to that next step, right?
Correct. So in any case that we receive that has an alleged perpetrator, is what we label them, somebody who may have caused that abuse, neglect, or exploitation to happen, we automatically send over forms to law enforcement. And so law enforcement is with us the entire way of that case. Now, whether they decide to pick that case up and pursue prosecution of the law, that's on their end. But we do our due diligence to involve them in every single case that has an alleged perpetrator.
What does it mean to you that when you get a hold of one of these and how do you kind of react, I guess? How do you take care of yourself? How do you decompress when you learn about these? You think, how can somebody do this to somebody else? I mean, I can't imagine what you deal with every day.
So when I was a caseworker during COVID, that was a struggle. I'm not going to lie. That was a really big mental toll. Learning how to decompress, learning how to turn that cell phone off at 5 p.m., and learning how to separate every single one of these cases. They're not my grandparents, but I was viewing them as my grandparents. These are my loved ones.
Yeah,
and so I took every single case home. I took them home, and I loved on them, and I provided what I could for them. I did true mission-based work. And I definitely assisted in any way I could when I was a caseworker. But the how do you say it? Decompression of it. That was something that you definitely just have to learn. Just, like
and
I said.
recognize that
Oh, yes.
it's building up. It's building up. Yeah.
I mean, it goes into caregiver burnout, right? It's the
Sure.
same concept with caseworker, and it's just a burnout that you can get. But it's something that you definitely just have to learn as you're doing it, just learning how to check out with your emotions and not take your own biases into every case as well.
Okay. What do you have, like a list of tips that you would tell somebody
Yeah.
that they need? Yeah, that they need to look out for. Maybe somebody who's just been widowed. I mean, I keep thinking about someone in that
Yeah.
scenario.
So one of the biggest indicators that we always educate on is somebody who needs assistance, whether that be for physical care, whether that be for grocery shopping, whether that be for paying bills. Somebody who is in need of that care, they are more susceptible to being abused, neglected, or exploited.
Okay. So that's what they need to look out for. But what kind of tips? Is there like a checklist of things somebody
Yeah, definitely.
could
So
do?
so anybody who may have unexplained marks on their body,
Ah,
bruises, I mean, stories are going to line up with marks on your body. They should at least. Not all the time. For neglect, right now in Texas, it is hot outside.
mm-hmm.
Do they have working ACs? Do they have food in their refrigerators? Do they have all their life-sustaining medications? For exploitation, are they able to pay their bills? Is somebody else being a representative payee paying those bills for them? Are they being evicted? Are they, experiencing anything where they are not able to pay for medications or groceries or any other bills? Those are all red flags. Red flags, red flags, red flags.
Mm-hmm. Inez, 36 years of doing this kind of work and keeping an eye out for folks like this. I'm sure you know some really heartbreaking scenarios.
I do. I will tell you a quick story actually about Adult Protective Services. So 30-something years ago, I had the head of the local Adult Protective Services in my office when I got a call from a lady who said, would I come get her? So she and I went to pick this lady up, and we got a few blocks from her house, and she said, they're hurting me. And she showed us her bruises. Now, Friends for Life can't take somebody out of their home and put them in a safe place. We don't have that authority, but APS does. So it was a God thing that she happened to be in my office that day and got her into a safe place. It was so funny. She called me the next day and said, have you ever heard of a treadmill? I said, yes. She said, I'm on one. She was so excited. She was not only getting to eat good food and people were not beating on her, but she got to be on do an exercise program. So she thought she was really in a great place.
Well, and that does have to make you feel so good that there's someone who's been victimized.
Yeah,
that
we can
needs
just
help, and
find
you
out
can-
about them. Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. Okay, so finding out who's the first person that needs to be good. You said you got the call from the poor little lady. Friends for Life is a great resource.
Yeah. If somebody suspects, they need to call APS. That's the law.
Mm-hmm.
But we can help so many of the people that we get referrals from Adult Protective Services, but we also hear from people in the community that don't know for sure that somebody is being abused, so they're not quite to the point that they would have a mandatory report requirement, but they are suspicious that things are not great. We got a call about a lady who couldn't see her house anymore, and
What did that mean?
it was overgrown. It was so overgrown.
Oh.
Nobody had seen her in years, and we did get APS involved in that case, and it was pretty horrific. But people are often finding these secluded, isolated, lonely people and taking what they have, and some of them are doing it by telephone. We had one lady that put siding on her brick home, bought siding
Oh,
three
my
times,
goodness.
3 times for her brick home. She said I didn't want him to hang up because that was the only person that called her, and sadly, the only people calling some of these lonely, isolated folks are telemarketers who want to sell them something.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a Phone Friends program and Adopt a Grandparent and visiting programs and gifts for grannies and grandpas, everything we can think of that builds a relationship between us and them. So they know they've got somebody to call.
That they can call. Yeah, they're not just waiting on somebody to reach out to them.
But you'd be so surprised. I mean, we've had people walk into our lobby and say, help me find my Social Security number. This man that called me wants it, you know. Oh, dear.
Don't give it.
Don't give him any numbers.
Don't give him any numbers. Oh, Inez, that's why, I mean, I'm just so impressed with what you've done for all these many decades now to help people who don't have anyone to help. And as a result, I mean, you've got a whole program on guardianship. And so will there be an opportunity for folks to learn about some of the other things that can be done to help folks?
I usually do at each one of the educational events that I have talk a little bit about Friends for Life and have information there and all the different programs that we do have in place and different ways that those can be beneficial to people. So I try and touch on that, you know, at every chance, because even though Inez had this vision and started this program 36 years ago, it's amazing how many people only know about one program. Right. Or really none of them.
The daycare maybe or whatever.
Yeah, just one. And there's so many different things that we can do to help keep people safer, healthier, and happier at home.
Well, and I think what's so remarkable about what you've done, Inez, is that you started out with just a small need, and then now how many counties, I mean, how many people are kind of under the watch care, if you will, of Friends for Life?
Well, we're in almost 80 counties now with offices in Abilene, Beaumont, Corpus, San Antonio, Texas City, and Tyler. And I was looking last night. We've helped tens of thousands of people over the years to have a better life. And in any given year, it may be probably close to 3,000 that we're impacting in some way or another. And maybe that may just be connecting them with the resource that they need to get the help that's so important.
Well, I think that's key, and that's key to get this kind of information out, that there are a lot of resources available. And so Erica, I want to ask you, how did you get involved in this kind of work with Adult Protective Services? Is this something you always wanted to do? You social worker? I mean, what's your background?
To be honest, no.
In a word, no.
In college, I was like, CPS is the way, and I was like, never for APS. But, you know, the good Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
The job prior to working with the state, I worked with Central County Services, and so I worked as a service coordinator for IDD clients. And so I knew very much a lot about guardianship, Friends for Life, Blue Bonnet Trails, a lot of those guardianship agencies. And so it was not a far jump for me. I had that knowledge and that background for that, and unfortunately I had to make an APS call when I was with that agency, and that tore me up. Oh my goodness, it really did, because I was so scared that I was changing this person's life for the worse, you know. They didn't give us a lot of training, per se, about APS.
Yeah, and what they actually do.
Exactly. And so I was lost. I didn't know what came next. What did you need from me? And so when COVID started, I was like, you know, I need to be more proactive. I need to do something more. I need more mission-based. And so I applied with the state, and I got the lucky call, and I was with APS, and it's been my home, and I absolutely love it here. This is the population for me. And honestly, I cannot wait to get old. So I love it here. So
you got a ways to go, girlfriend.
I just love it.
That's great. And so this is a government job. So you work for the state of Texas, correct? I mean, I'm just trying to get all this in my head, because we're going to be talking to a lot of people through this series, folks with the McLean County Sheriff's Office and with the DA's office, and folks that, you know, can really put some teeth behind fixing a problem. But Christine, you know, it's just so important that someone not feel like I'm suffering by myself.
And that's the worst thing. We don't want people to feel like they're suffering in silence and that they're all alone. That nobody else understands. They're embarrassed. They're scared.
Embarrassment. Yeah, that's a big
Exactly.
thing, isn't it, Inez?
Or
It's huge.
ashamed. Mm-hmm.
It's huge. We've had so many of our clients who've been taken advantage of, and they said, "Don't call the police. I don't want anybody to know."
They don't
You know,
want
one
it to get on
lady-
the news or
Yeah,
whatever.
one lady had gone to the bank and gotten $50,000 in cash and put it in a box and mailed it to somebody. And she said, "Please don't tell anybody that happened." Yeah,
and,
they
and
are
if they
do
still
get
have children
embarrassed.
alive, they don't want their children to know.
Right.
Because then they're afraid their children may lock them up somewhere. Or,
Yep.
you know,
Oh,
so-
they'll put me in a hole.
Yes.
Yep. So the 1,300 that I mentioned earlier from McLennan County, that's just the known cases.
And most are not reported.
Oh, most definitely.
And most are family.
This is
And I should say that the part that they want me to play in this whole series isn't what I know the most about, which is these wonderful, sweet people that are taken advantage of, but something else that, because I'm on the inside of a nonprofit, I know what people can do to know that the money that they give to a nonprofit is actually going to a good cause. So I get to talk about the ways that they can check to verify that a charity is what it says it is, that things like GuideStar, that
What is that?
it's an organization that you send them a lot of information about your nonprofit. Friends for Life has a platinum level of transparency with them.
Okay.
I would think you'd want somebody that at least has gold, but that's one way. And you can go online and research them, and GuideStar shows you their 990s. So their
Really?
tax return is on that website, and you can learn a lot about them. You can also go to one called Great Nonprofits and read reviews that other people have written about that nonprofit. You can ask them for things like their annual report and their audit or review. Have they had their financials audited or reviewed by an outside accounting firm? And also, what are they doing? You know, is at least 90% of the money that you give going to the programs, and only, less than 10% to administration and fundraising? I think that's important. I think nonprofits have a higher level of accountability than for-profits. Everybody should have integrity and have, the best interest of their customers or their clients. But I think churches and nonprofits have an even higher level. We need to be good stewards of the money that's given to us. We need to make sure it's going exactly where that person intended. And a nonprofit should welcome you in. No nonprofit should pressure anybody into giving money. And if somebody's pressuring you, that would be a red flag to
for
me.
sure. Trying to
So-
upsell you?
Yeah.
You'd really like this sponsorship, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. You might do that. Maybe a little bit. I don't know.
No, I think
Only if we're talking about granny
Hey, we're
basketball.
talking about
or
granny
something.
basketball.
granny basketball is the exception.
That's a whole different thing. Oh,
Not
gosh.
really. I'm
But,
just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you feel so good when you give to something, and that
Exactly.
and folks that are older, maybe feeling lonely, want to feel like they're doing something of value, and if they've got some resources, they want to do that. But how depressing it would have to be to find out they've just been ripped off.
And Reverend Ingalls will also add some more content regarding religious institutions. And
Yeah.
they're not exempt from sometimes people misrepresenting, unfortunately.
Yeah,
And I
that's-
think
Using
I think the audience for this session that Father Jason and I are going to do is really even larger than just our isolated seniors
Yeah.
and vulnerable adults with disabilities, because any of us can be asked by a nonprofit or a church to donate, and we need to know what can we do to be sure that the money's really going to what I think it's going to.
And there are a lot of charities and nonprofits in this town. There's a lot of events, I know, because I have them come on. I know about all of
you
them.
busy.
Just about because Yes, there are a lot, and and people are generous in Central Texas. I
They
mean,
are.
folks want to help, and especially if they see a need. I mean, they just open their hearts and their pocketbooks. But
And
man,
that's why we're called the Heart of Texas. Because we do have the biggest heart.
but that's
do.
of course
Yeah.
it is. Well, Erica, I appreciate so much your honesty about your journey to where you are, but I'm really, really glad to get to hear more about Adult Protective Services and what they do, because there are situations we're aware of where maybe somebody's getting older, they shouldn't be living alone, but they're just determined they're gonna. So do you kind of step in if it does get to a real serious situation?
Absolutely. So, what I encourage everyone to do is if you have that gut feeling, that suspicion of something going on, go ahead and make that call. You can make that report over to us, and that gives us the ability to go in and do an investigation. Now, all the time, it's not always we're going to remove somebody. That's very, very few times that we're going to do that. Majority of the time, we're just educating family and the person themselves, just providing them resources. The other part of the time, though, is we want them happy, healthy, and safe in their home. We don't want to just remove people and put them into nursing homes or skilled facilities. We want to keep them in their home. And sometimes that means getting a home health aide, getting somebody in for just a few hours a day for a couple days a week. Maybe that just means somebody else does your grocery shopping. Maybe that means you just need a little bit of help cleaning up around your house.
Yeah.
So we're
Or maybe you need a phone friend.
Yes, a phone friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Friends for Life can
Yeah.
handle that.
And
No,
so-
because I know there are family members that no, mom does not need to be home by herself. She is just determined. She is not,
Dug her heels
so yeah. So then I know we've talked about this. So, what do you do?
Well, remember what I mentioned, that important detail of do they have capacity?
Right.
If they do, unfortunately,
Yeah.
us Texans, we're stubborn.
No
we
kidding.
are stubborn. And
if
so,
they're German, they're even more stubborn.
This is true.
Just saying.
and so they can choose how they want to live. Their clean and my clean are not the same clean.
I know, that's true.
And so that's the territory that we also walk into as well.
Right.
And so checking those biases out at the door before we walk in, that's definitely one of those big things that we have to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just want to keep them in their homes, happy, healthy, and safe. Unfortunately, when those cases do come up where they do need to be removed, those are taken very seriously. We have to get judge permission in order to even remove them from the home. And so then at that point in time, we also have to have a place for them to go. And I don't know about you, but I don't have a foster care home for older people, right? It's just not a thing. It's not something that's created right now.
Maybe there needs to be some.
Maybe you can make one.
She goes,
We're working
one
on
more
it."
thing on my list.
But that's
No,
the
really,
truth
when
of
you
it.
think about it, they may be more functional than not, but still just needing a watchful eye. That's anyway. It's a significant situation for a lot of families, and folks are living longer. They're we just are. So these issues come up. Well, Inez, the fact that you've done so much for these folks is just such a remarkable thing, and you've been honored all over the place, but not nearly enough for what you've done with Friends for Life and in seeing this need. These events, again, the first one is the big panel group. It's going to be on August 7th, and it's free, right?
It is free. All of these educational events are free. We also do have a sponsor right at home. Home Care is also providing a door prize for each session and also a light lunch.
Okay, so lunch is even provided. So these start at 11:30?
11:30 to 1:30.
All right, and folks if they want to go and find the whole list of everybody and what they're doing, where would they find that?
They can find that on Facebook. You can find it on our website. You can watch Ann Harder. We're trying
Check it out here.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to get the word out anywhere that we can, and asking people to share. Because, again, this is something that affects everybody, and the reports are so much less than what we know incidences of different types of abuse are. And so a lot of this is focused on financial and exploitation and those kinds of abuses, but there are other things as well, the other physical abuses and things like that too. And again, so many of us are now, we're all at risk.
Yeah.
For falling victim to some type of scam or fraud.
Oh,
and that's a big part of it.
And
so,
with AI, and that's one of the things that'll be touched on.
Yes, absolutely.
In the series. So again, you'll want to check out the whole list of everybody that will be presenting. But again, Inez and Reverend Ingalls will be on September 11th, and that is Giving with Confidence. And never trust a fundraiser who ... Okay, and then Erica, you're coming up on into the fall, October 9th.
Yes, ma'am.
Beyond the Report. And I cannot thank you all enough for what you're doing in the community and how you're working to protect the vulnerable. True religion, isn't it?
Yes.
It really is. Thank you.
By
Thank
the
you
grace
all.
of God. And
Amen.
for his people.
Stay with us. We've got more show ahead.
Concerns, but also in providing top-notch preventative health care. We're proud to connect pet owners to a vast network of licensed veterinary professionals, ready to address any immediate concerns and expand access to pet care. Book your first appointment today.
It is great to know we can get more information this fall on how to protect ourselves from scammers and fraudsters, thanks to our friends at Friends for Life. Stick around. There's music ahead from Lilly Milford.
I just got my Colgate Advanced LED Whitening Treatment in the mail, and I am very excited to have dramatically whiter teeth in just 10 days. My teeth are going to be 6 shades whiter. The treatment is enamel safe and hassle-free. It's even designed for my sensitive teeth. Let's open it up. Inside we have the blue light whitening device. It's a charger for after each treatment as well. There's a full 10-day supply, and it looks easy to apply. Order yours today at shop.colgate.com.
Hi, my name's Erica, and today I'm going to be taking you through my skincare routine using the Tasmanian Spring Water range from Sand & Sky. This range is really good for dry and dehydrated skin like myself. It's packed with 2 types of hyaluronic acid and fermented sea kelp to reduce redness and irritation, which I experience daily. So that's it. It's so quick and so easy, and my skin feels so dewy and so hydrated.
I'm gonna play y'all one of my favorite songs. It's about musicians that can't figure it out, but it's okay, you love them anyway. I'm really happy you got the Calamity Janes tomorrow. You know them? You're gonna love them if you don't know them already. The song's called Golden Line, and it's to all my buddies out there. That hum from the wall, creatures keep talking, yeah, singing the night away. That song that we wrote, shadows of you, well, chasing the night today. You've got that golden line, bleeding out loud, losing my mind. I've never listened to any old lie. You've got that golden line. Zach Owen Show. Thank you for having me. I bid you adieu.
Natural Cycles identifies your fertile window by analyzing changes in your temperature. It's the first FDA-cleared birth control app. No hormones, no side effects, and 93% effective with typical use, and 98% effective with perfect use. Just measure in the morning, add your temperature into the app, then learn which days you can and cannot get pregnant. It's that easy. Learn more at naturalcycles.com.
Thanks for being with us. Tomorrow, my visit with the mayor of Waco, Jim Holmes. He's quite the daredevil, too. See you at noon tomorrow. Have a great afternoon.